You are doing something completely ordinary, brushing your teeth, waiting for the kettle, lying in the dark, almost asleep. And then, with no warning at all, it arrives. A memory. Something you said years ago. A joke that landed wrong. A name you forgot. A moment you stumbled in front of people who stopped mattering a decade ago. It is tiny. It is ancient. And still your whole body flinches. Your face goes warm. And for a second you are right back there, dying all over again. You probably think there is something wrong with you for holding on to it. That a healthy mind would have let it go. But the real answer is far stranger and far kinder to you than you think. That cringe is not a malfunction. It is one of the oldest survival systems you own, still standing guard over a threat that no longer exists. Because your brain did not keep that memory by accident. It kept it on purpose. It decided in the moment that this was one of the most important things that had ever happened to you. And to understand why, you have to understand what your brain thinks embarrassment actually is. Start with the memory itself. Why does this one moment burn so bright when 1,000 ordinary days have faded to nothing? The answer lies in how emotion glues memory into place. The neuroscientist James McGaugh spent his career studying this, and what he found is that your brain has a special rule. When something happens while you are calm, it records it lightly, the way you would jot a note. But when something happens while you are flooded with emotion, your body releases a surge of stress chemicals, adrenaline and cortisol, and those chemicals tell a small almond-shaped structure called the amygdala to do one thing. Burn this in. Make it permanent. Do not let us forget. This system exists to protect you. For your ancestors, the moments worth remembering forever were the dangerous ones. The place the predator struck. The berry that made you sick. Strong emotion was the brain's way of flagging, this matters, learn it, never repeat it. And here's the strange part. Your brain files social humiliation in exactly the same drawer as physical danger. To you, a cringe memory feels like nothing more than embarrassment. But to the deep machinery of your mind, it was a threat to your survival, and it treated it that way. The psychologist Naomi Eisenberger discovered just how literal this is. She put people inside a brain scanner and had them play a simple game where, partway through, the other players began to exclude them, leaving them out, ignoring them. It was a trivial little game with strangers, and yet when people felt that social rejection, the scanner lit up in the same region that processes physical pain. Not a metaphor. The actual hurt of being left out runs through some of the same circuitry as a burn or a broken bone. Your brain does not have a separate, gentler system for social wounds. It uses the pain system. Because for almost all of human history, being rejected by your group was not an inconvenience. It was a death sentence. Think about what your ancestors actually depended on. They could not survive alone. No single human can outrun, outfight, or outlast the wild on their own. You survived because the group fed you, protected you, kept watch while you slept. To be cast out, to be the one nobody wanted around meant exposure, starvation, the end. For hundreds of thousands of years, your standing in the eyes of others was, very literally, life or death. So evolution built you an alarm. The psychologist Leary calls it the sociometer, an inner gauge that constantly monitors one question. Am I accepted or am I at risk of being cast out? When the gauge reads danger, it does not send you a polite notification. It floods you with a hot, sickening, unmistakable feeling, the urge to hide, to shrink, to fix it immediately. That feeling has a name. It is embarrassment, it is shame, and it hurts on purpose, because an alarm that did not hurt would be an alarm you could ignore. Now put the two pieces together and the haunting makes perfect sense. A moment of social embarrassment triggers your ancient survival alarm. The alarm floods you with emotion. The emotion tells your amygdala to burn the memory in forever, so you will never make the dangerous mistake again. Your brain is not tormenting you. It thinks it is saving your life. Does that change how you see that little flinch? But here is the twist, the part that turns this from a sentence into a strange kind of freedom. The threat your brain is guarding against is almost entirely imaginary, because the people you are so afraid of, the witnesses to your humiliation, have completely forgotten. The psychologist Thomas Gilovich studied this and named it the spotlight effect. We walk through life feeling like we are under a spotlight, certain that everyone is watching us, noticing our flaws, cataloging our mistakes. In his experiments, he found that people dramatically overestimate how much others notice them. You remember the stain on your shirt, the thing you said, the moment you tripped. They do not. They were too busy starring in their own anxious movie, worrying about their own spotlight, replaying their own cringe. That comment that has haunted you for 10 years? The person you said it to forgot it within the hour, possibly within the minute. The memory only exists in all the world inside one skull. Yours. Sit with how strange that is. You are being punished again and again by an audience that left the theater long ago. The room is empty, the lights are off, and still your brain runs the alarm because it was built for a world where the audience never forgot, and being judged truly could end you. That world is gone, but the wiring remains. And in modern life, that ancient alarm has become wildly, almost comically miscalibrated. You evolved in a small band of maybe a few dozen people, where every relationship was permanent and reputation was everything. Now you move through a world of millions of strangers you will never see again. One awkward sentence cannot exile you. One forgotten name cannot starve you. The stakes that built this system simply do not exist anymore. But your brain cannot tell the difference. To the part of you that keeps these memories, a fumbled introduction at a party and a betrayal that gets you thrown out of the tribe, feel like the same category of event. The alarm does not do nuance. It just rings. So you lie awake, flinching at a ghost, paying a survival tax on a threat that died with a world you never lived in. What do you do with that? You start by understanding what the feeling actually is. The next time a cringe memory ambushes you, you can recognize it for what it is. Not proof that you are uniquely awkward or unforgivable. It is an old alarm doing its old job, protecting you from a danger that is not there. It is, in a strange way, a sign of how deeply you are built to belong, to be wanted, to matter to other people. The cringe is the price of caring about connection, and caring about connection is one of the most human things about you. And you can offer yourself the one thing the alarm never does: perspective. Everyone, every single person you have ever envied or admired is carrying their own private collection of these memories, flinching at their own ghosts in their own quiet moments. The composed stranger across the room is haunted by a sentence they said in 2009. You are not broken. You are normal. You are human. This is simply what it feels like to be a social animal in a world your instincts were never designed for. So the next time you're doing something completely ordinary and that old memory comes for you and your face goes warm and your stomach drops, try to remember what is really happening. It is not the past coming back to shame you. It is an ancient guardian, deep in your mind, still standing watch over a door that no one is trying to come through anymore. You can thank it for its service, and you can tell it, gently, that you are safe now.